If you've seen the movie Cars, or Cars 2, even Cars 3, you'll know that they were amazing movies. Today, I'm going to cover Cars 4, 10 stories we could see in a sequel. Welcome back to Spinning Film, let's get into the video. Number 10, Sally's former life. Sally used to be a lawyer in Los Angeles, and according to her, she lived life in the fast lane. As she told McQueen, she grew up unhappy with her lifestyle and decided to leave, eventually ending up in Radiator Springs. The film could explore what her life used to be like and help audiences see how Sally grew unhappy with the way things were. Was she lonely? Was her work no longer fulfilling? What inspired her to pursue that lifestyle to begin with? And when did she decide to leave? Why did she stay in Radiator Springs and open a motel? What other things do audiences not know about Sally that could be integral to the plot?
Be careful, folks around here are not firing on all cylinders, if you know what I mean.
Ka-chang!
I'll keep that in mind.
Number 9, Storm learns a lesson. Jackson Storm is similar to what Lightning McQueen was like when audiences first met him. Storm wants to be number one, and he'll do anything and everything he can to stay ahead. He taunts, he threatens, and he picks at the weaknesses of those around him. He's petty and vicious, and crews beat him despite it all. The fourth movie could potentially focus on Storm and find him learning a lesson or two that will make him kinder and wiser.
You have no idea what a pleasure it is for me to finally beat you.
Oh, thanks. Wait, hang on, did you say meet or beat?
Number 8, McQueen's backstory. McQueen has mentioned things here and there about his past, but his backstory has never been fully explored. The film could serve as a prequel of sorts, showing McQueen in humble beginnings, dreaming of becoming a racer. How did he get his start? Was he different then? Were his wins one of the reasons why McQueen became arrogant and narcissistic? What about his family? A prequel might prove an interesting story, going back even before the events of the first Cars film. Number 7, the history of Radiator Springs. Audiences got glimpses of what Radiator Springs was like in the old days in the first Cars film, but there's so much more that could be explored regarding the plot. A sequel could go back in time and visit the good old days and include characters like Mater, Flo, and the others in their heyday. Just what was Radiator Springs' life back then? What kinds of adventures did they have? How did the group adjust from having customers all the time to cars really showing up?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. 40 years ago, that interstate down there didn't exist.
Really?
Number 6, a vacation of a lifetime. It will be fun to see all the characters taking a vacation together to get away from work and just enjoy themselves. They could go anywhere from New York City to Australia and have all kinds of adventures. It's easy to imagine Mater getting into all sorts of shenanigans and dragging his best friend, Lightning McQueen, along for the ride. They could even travel from place to place, going from mountains to beach to desert, making it an extended vacation. Number 5, starting from scratch. Another potential idea for a sequel could be coming up with a new protagonist and a story to accompany them. Introducing a new character to the franchise wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if the Cars franchise were to continue in the years to come, like the Fast and the Furious franchise has. Familiar characters like Lightning McQueen and Mater could make appearances or serve as supporting characters in the film, depending on the storyline. Number 4, how Doc Hudson wound up in Radiator Springs. Doc Hudson was revealed to be a famous race car whose career was tragically cut short by a devastating crash in the 1950s. He made a new life for himself in Radiator Springs and became the town's judge and doctor. The plot could take place at what and who Doc left behind in his life as a racer, and how he ended up in Radiator Springs. How did he befriend everyone? How did he switch careers from racer to judge and doctor? Did he have any regrets? Did he ever try to get back into racing? Why did he decide to refrain from telling his new friends about his past as a famous racer? The film could answer all those questions and more. Number 3, a continuation of Cruise. The fourth film could pick up where the third left off and focus on McQueen and Cruise's adventures as a newly formed racing duo. With McQueen continuing as her mentor, how is racing going for Cruise? How does McQueen like mentoring? Do they run into problems? Does McQueen regret becoming a trainer? How will Cruise handle her newfound fame and all that comes with it? Number 2, another mission. In Cars 2, Mater is mistakenly confused for a spy and finds himself on quite the adventure. Afterward, a long British spy, Finn Missile, and a spy new to the field work, Holly Shifwell, by sheer luck, Mater makes it through his assignments, but he proves his intelligence when he figures out the car responsible for all the trouble at the races and gets the bomb attached to him deactivated in time. Another sequel could revisit Mater as a spy going on another mission, with Finn, Holly, and maybe even a few new agents along for the ride. Perhaps Lightning McQueen and some of Mater's other friends from Radiator Springs could end up as new spy recruits. Number 1, McQueen and Sally. McQueen and Sally's love story was one of the major focuses in the 2006 film, but it hasn't quite been revisited in the same way since the first film. A fourth movie could explore their love story further. Do they get married? Have little cars of their own? Do they leave Radiator Springs? Does McQueen retire? Or does he travel the world coaching crews alongside Sally? There are all sorts of possibilities when it comes to a happily ever after. kind of ending to close the chapter of McQueen and Sully's love story. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.